Hello and welcome to another episode of What to Pick. This is the video series where I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And today's first starting hand is a decision between Valley Trust and Inventrix. You all know I love Valley Trust, so let's pick it for now and see what we get. Supply drop is top tier, especially for a corp such as Valley Trust that doesn't have that much starting capital. Other than that, I probably like dome farming here the best, but early settlement definitely has some upside on Tharsis with Maya. There it is. But let's see what we get in the starting hand. Loan is probably never a consideration. Oh wow, okay. Oh wow, okay. This is a pretty crazy starting hand. Definitely we're picking dome farming because it has a plant tag. One of the reasons why I love it so much. And we have NRA on hand, so that plant tag is insanely valuable. We also have some other really strong cards like Viral Enhancers and Research Outpost. And obviously we're picking up Research Coordination for NRA. Urbanized Area, probably not a card I would pick up on a starting hand. Food Factory, really bad. Never picked this up. TG doesn't make that much sense without any Titanium Prot or other Jovians. Ice Cap Melting, probably a bit too late. Like, it's an extremely late game card. We don't know yet if oceans will come down fast or not. And then you could think about trees and extreme cold fungus, because both of them have upside with viral enhancers. But we also don't have any heat prot. We just have one heat bump with NRA. So getting to trees could be difficult. And we also don't have any combo potential for extreme cold fungus. Or combo potential. We have no micro precipient for extreme cold fungus. So, and this is not Hellas, this is Tharsis. So eccentric is not a consideration. On Hellas, I would instantly pick ECF, because if you find a microbe collecting card, this is the best card for eccentric, and you can just fund that award basically. It also has some upside on Elysium for Ecologist, but on Tharsis, I'll probably skip it. Trees, I'll probably skip that too. As I said, no heat prot, and if we get the plant tech isn't helpful for NRA because we need to get the plant tags down quite soon for them to matter, and trees is just so high up on the track. Also NRA, if we get it down early, it will provide us with a lot of plant prot, and then it could be highly likely that oxygen is nearly maxed out once we can play trees. So I'm thinking just about these four cards, but one thing to consider actually is the corp we're playing. First of all, you could think about picking Inventrix here, because you draw 3 more cards, and those could hold plant tags. Also, it's easier for you to get plant tags down because of the Inventrix ability. The other thing to consider, Valley Trust draws 3 more preludes. You could find another wild tag or plant tag. And one thing you could find is Ecology Experts. If you find Ecology Experts, you could actually get trees down. Also, Ecology Experts already has a plant tag. So dome farming, Ecology Experts, and trees would be enough plant tags to actually get NRA down. Probably in Gen 2 because you're poor and can't get this down Gen 1 after trees. But this actually makes me want to gamble on trees. It's not really bad if we don't find Ecology Experts with Valley Trust, because trees is still a good card, even though I said earlier no heat prot and NRA make you probably not want to pick trees. It will still be okay, especially with viral enhancers, if you don't find Ecology Experts. And there's not that much to pick up on the starting hand, so I think you can make this gamble. So yeah, I will probably go with Valley Trust and hope to find that. Go with these 5 cards. And because we're playing Valley Trust, we want to see which preludes we get. So let's lock this in. As I said, there were arguments for Inventrix as well, but I think Valley Trust has more upside here. Okay, opponent's playing Tharsis. That's, in this situation, that would be not that great, actually. But doesn't matter now. Okay, let the AI do their thing. All right, let's see if we get lucky. We don't. Okay. So smelting plant is obviously the one that you don't want to pick because you want to get oxygen steps out of the track with your plant prod and don't want to take them away with your prelude. Metal-rich asteroids provides steel and titanium instantly to get research outposts and NRA down. You want to get research outposts down probably, but you don't want to get NRA down before you have your third plant tech. So it's not really necessary to have this titanium instantly. I think Metals Company makes more sense. Pick that up. Also, you already have quite a lot of steel and titanium because of supply drop. So I'd say pick Metals Company and honestly just get research outpost down to block a good spot. If this was a real player, he'd probably put his prelude city here and then the Tharsis city there. Oh wait, he didn't have a prelude city, right? No, he didn't, okay. Could be an idea to actually get research outpost down on Ascrius to draw a card. But honestly, you should probably just get this spot over here to block this prime spot on the map. So yeah, I'll probably take Metals Company here. And then, yeah, as I said, get research outpost down to block the spot. Or maybe wait until Gen 2 because you don't want to give him MC prod. If he had another city, he probably would have blocked the spot already. And yeah, you just hope to find a plant tech in the draft. That would be your third. And get the NRA down. That's basically the game plan. But yeah, that was hand number 1. Let's jump over to hand number 2. All right, for hand number 2, we have a decision between Robinson and Aphrodite. So you will immediately notice that we are now playing with Venus next, which we didn't do in the last hand. I've also included all of the promo packs in this hand. Robinson is going to be the better choice in most scenarios. It just has a much stronger ability and is more flexible. Especially if you have some power-hungry cards in your starting hand, Robinson is quite good. Can get a great economy going. Aphrodite, on the other hand, the plant tech, the plant prod doesn't really combo with the Venus ability. The Venus ability in general is quite weak. But let's see what we have on our starting hand. Okay, we have 2 preludes that we would have loved with that Valley Trust start we just talked about, because they would have enabled NRA. Ecology Experts, we're playing on Elysium, is insane on this map if you have the right card for it, because it basically guarantees you get Ecologist. Self-sufficient settlement can be nice to block the 3 plant spot, or if you have an atrocious starting hand to get 3 cards, but I wouldn't go here if your starting hand is alright, because it's bad city spot, and also this spot here in the middle of the map just gives you such great conversions around it. Huge asteroid, probably the better prelude on the starting hand. Depends on whether or not you want to go for rush. If you want to go heavily into engine, research network could also help. But yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, well, the starting hand truly isn't great. Let's think about what we want to do here. Obviously, we have GIA, which you just always want to pick up. It's one of the strongest cards in the game, but certainly not something that you want to play Gen 1. Just too expensive in Gen 1. Cutting edge technology, one of my most favorite cards in the game. It grants a discount on a lot of cards, basically all cards with requirements. I would always pick this up in the starting hand. even though this starting hand doesn't look particularly great for it. Sadly, as you can see, we have no target for ecology experts, so we're definitely not going with that. And because the starting hand is so bad, I'd probably pivot into these two preludes and do what I just said wasn't that great. Put self-sufficient settlement on Olympus Mons. But you don't want to do that first. You want to draw with research network first, see what you get, and maybe what you get there will give you more information and more to do, especially. And then you can still react and place your city on the plants. Or maybe it is a huge titanium dump and you want to put it on Elysium Mons or Asia Mons. That could also be the case. Just draw your cards with research network first before you make the decision on self-sufficient settlement. What else do we pick here? I would definitely go with Robinson. There's not really any reason to go with Aphrodite here. Extractor Balloons is an atrocious card. You don't want to base your strategy around this, even if you're like playing Aphrodite. I would probably pick up Small Asteroid. It's just a decent space event. I'd probably pick up Subterranean Reservoir. Being able to place an ocean can be helpful. We will have a city down. We might want to get plans with that. We might want to pick up another card with that. And then I'd probably pick up the power. Hydrogen to Venus, no combo potential for that. Airbrake Ammonia Asteroid, atrocious. Not enough power for Ironworks, I wouldn't gamble on it. PSC, we don't have enough power tax, and yeah, just not something I want to gamble on. Extractor Balloons, as I said, atrocious. So yeah, I would probably go with Robinson, these two preludes to draw more cards because the starting hand doesn't have much to do Gen 1. Like 3 cards that we pick up here are stuff that you don't want to play Gen 1. Subterranean Reservoir, also not that the biggest payoff. It's more of a utility card, and Peroxide Power, we're also lacking a card that makes use of that power. What I actually want to do here is see how I would decide on self-sufficient settlement after drawing Research Network to see if that makes a difference. So let's also confirm this, lock this in, and take a look at the cards we draw. Okay, doesn't really matter what the AI does. Let's see. As I said, play Research Network first, then take a look what you draw. Okay, Potatoes, Gyropolis, and Self-Replicating Robots. Definitely interesting draws. So you're getting pulled into a few different directions here. For Self-Replicating Robots, which is an insane card to get down early, you want to find another science tag. So you can play that Gen 1 and put GAA on it to get a huge discount on this. For Potatoes, you want to pick up plants. Gyropolis is just kind of sitting there. You don't have like a lot of tags for it, so it probably isn't worth playing early. The good thing is you can solve both of these problems separately. You can just pick up plants for Potatoes with Subterranean Reservoir, and that's an amazing card on Elysium because it's a really cheap green tag for Ecologist. And you can pick up more cards with self-sufficient settlement. I think we will get this down on the cards. Let's also analyze what we just got there. AI is doing AI stuff, playing Ganymede Colony Gen 1, completely idiotic, and getting a city down. Actually, that spot is good, so congrats to the AI for doing that. Okay, what did we draw? Okay, we're getting pulled into different directions again. After this card draw, screw the plan with getting Subterranean Reservoir and Potatoes down. That can wait until Gen 2. You want to get Beam from a Thorium Asteroid down. Beam from a Thorium Asteroid is an amazing card if you can get it down early, and due to the wild tag we got down with our preludes, we can get it down Gen 1, even though that means we cannot get cutting edge technology down first, and we also cannot use our ability Gen 1. I still think it's absolutely worth it to get this down immediately. You could argue get titanium prod first, get cutting edge technology down, so we get the titanium prod going and pay with 1 titanium for beam next gen, and also save 2 money on it. But we're missing out on 6 heat if we do that, and I think that's just not worth it. You just get beam down and worry about the rest afterwards. What you want to do afterwards is the thing I said, find another science tech for... We don't need to find another science tech, I just noticed. We can just play cutting edge technology. We have the wild tech. So you can also go get cutting edge technology and self-replicating robots down, then put GAA on there. Is that worth it? That's 19, 21, 33, right? 23, 32. It's 32? That's 23, 30, 32. Okay. Okay, that's now another consideration. Do we want to get... Yeah, okay, we also saved the money. Okay. Okay, screw what I said. I think we're doing something else. Because this way we can get a lot down Gen 1. You play cutting edge technology into self-replicating robots, subterranean reservoir, and potatoes. Put GIA on self-replicating robots and let the robots accumulate there. That way you get potatoes down Gen 1, you get cutting edge technology down before you play beam, and you get self-replicating robots down in Gen 1, which is one of the cards that scales hardest in the whole game, the earlier you play it. So I would probably play these 4 cards. That will probably mean we cannot even play this Gen 2, and we also cannot use our ability Gen 1. We could maybe look into selling, right? Okay, let's calculate this again. 12, 23. This costs 2 less. I didn't factor it in because of cutting edge technology. So 28 plus 2 is 30. If we sell Gyropolis and Air Scrapping Expedition, which we both definitely do not need, then we can afford to get 1 titanium prod with Robinson Gen 1. And I think that's worth it. Okay, that's what I probably would do, Gen 1. Went a little bit deeper into this than I usually do, but interesting starting hand, even though it looked kind of atrocious at the start. But let's get to the last starting hand of today's video. All right, and once again, we're picking our last starting hand on BGA to be able to look at a colony starting hand. And also, I chose random map and I got Vastitas Borealis, so another map that is not on Steam yet. It has 2 tiles that do nothing currently on BGA. That should grant delegates, but Turmoil is not on BGA yet. So those are not functional, but the rest of the map works perfectly fine. So let's see what we get here. Okay, interesting stuff immediately. So, Thorgate, really bad corp in the base game. Pretty good in colonies, because number 1 rule in colonies is try to be able to trade. Trading is really good, and Thorgate is the best corp to guarantee you that you're able to trade. With other corps, if you don't want to spend 33 MC on 3 standard projects, you have to be lucky and draw into power prod. If we had any other corp, we wouldn't be lucky here, because we don't have any power prod on our starting hand. Energy saving is not something that will allow us to trade in Gen 2. Thorgate, on the other hand, starts out with a power prod and has a discount on the standard project, so you pay only 16 to get the 3 power prod, which is definitely worth it to do in Gen 1. And usually in the base game, it would always be Shing over Thorgate. Here, it's definitely Thorgate over Shing. And we have some other interesting things here. First of all, you should always take a look at the colonies that are in game. The colony tiles, sorry. You are always especially taking a look at, is Pluto in game? If Pluto is in game, the game's going to be funny. Because everyone can get so much card draw. It's going to be a clown fiesta. Also, card draw, other card draw options are significantly devalued if Pluto is in game, but here it isn't. Instead, we have three basically rush colonies in Io, Callisto, and Ganymede. These are not the norm. All of the other colonies are basically more engine colonies that allow you to get an insane economy, get a lot of cards drawn, score points, and so on. But these three can actually help you to end the game. On the flip side, we also have Titan, something that just scores points for you in most times. And we have the best card to go with it, Jovian Lanterns. Jovian Lanterns can be absolutely insane. There's quite a few cards in colonies that combo with it. Something like Titan Shuttles can, for example, score a lot of points with Jovian Lanterns. And obviously, Colony on Titan and regularly trading with it can also score tons of points with Jovian Lanterns. The problem is we don't have any titanium prot, so we need to find that to continuously be able to use this. But it's going to be difficult to get this down early on anyways. And you probably don't want to get wife down just to play Jovian Lanterns without any titanium prot. But we're definitely picking it up, and if we do that, we can also pick up floater prototypes. It's, on the face of it, already worth it. It costs 5 for basically a point on Jovian Lanterns, so that's fine. But it's also a science event, so we can find a lot of combo potential for this. I'd probably just go for the engine preludes here. You could think about Metal Rich Asteroid, and that titanium could be used on Jovian Lanterns for as long as you don't find titanium prot. If we do that, I'd probably do Business Empire and Metal Rich, because there's not much we want to get down Gen 1. Because the rest of the starting hand is atrocious. You're obviously picking Sabotage, you're obviously picking Wife, because you're going to get Jovian Lanterns down. You want to find another Jovian to get this down. You don't want to play this first. But if you're going Jovians, and you will have at least 2 if you get Jovian Lanterns down, then you're obviously also picking the Jovian multiplier. So yeah, these 4 are pretty easy to decide on. The rest also pretty easy to decide on because they are all bad. Bumpers are atrocious with colonies because you want to spend your power on trading, not on bumpers. Aquifer Pumping is a pretty bad card already, but we also don't have any steel, other than this the one we're starting with Metal Rich. Energy Saving, not a good card on the starting hand. Ants, not a good card on the starting hand. Food Factory, just always atrocious, and Martian Rails, always atrocious as well. You can also take a look at the milestones. We have Agronomist, for which you need 4 plant techs. We have none. We have Engineer. That's something we could maybe go for if we find the right follow-up cards, because we are Thorgate and can easily play a lot of power prot. Spacefarer, not looking great on that either, but we want to pick up Jovians. Geologist, also not looking great here. Farmer, you could think about Ants for that, but I wouldn't gamble on it. What I would do here is pick up these 4 cards and just place... at what kind of money does this leave us? We pay 12 for these cards. We pay 6 for Business Empire, so 18. We're left with 30. I'd love to get a colony down on Luna and also pay for 2 standard project power. So that means I'll exchange Business Empire for Allied Banks, basically. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That means instead of 30, we will have 39, right? This costs 12. We start with 51. Yep, 39. And that's easily enough to put a standard project colony down on Luna and also pay for 2 standard project power. And yeah, we will have quite a good economy with allied banks and the colony on Luna. We have a little bit more starting capital, and we just need to draw into a Jovian, basically, and some titanium prod. Vesta shipyard or asteroid mining would be best case scenarios here. And then we'll see what happens afterwards. But yeah, interesting starting hand, bit light on the cards, but with huge potential with Jovian Lanterns and Titan in game. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of What to Pick. Definitely let me know in the comments whether you had decided differently in these starting hands, especially here on the last one. Pretty interesting whether or not you want to put this colony down on Luna Gen 1 or not. Whether or not you want to pick up ants for a potential farmer. Let me know what you would do. And yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I hope I see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and goodbye.